סך הכל, אני שמחה שנתנו להם איזה מכה, שהם המומים. אבל אני לא יודעת מה יצא מזה, כי גם להם יש כל מיני אמצעים להכות בנו.
ایران هیچگاه دنبال این نبوده که جنگ در منطقه گسترش پیدا کنه.
الجمهورية الإسلامية الإيرانية لم تكن تسعى في أي لحظة من اللحظات إلى توسعة دائرة الحرب.
اما این نکته را باید در نظر بگیرن که ایران اجازه نخواهد داد که منطقه تحت اداره آمریکایی و آمریکا و اسرائیل اداره بشه.
All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. Just a few things here at the top, and then I'll be happy to take your questions. I just don't have anything to provide in that regard. Obviously, something that we're continuing to monitor, but don't have any information to provide. Again, I don't have any details to provide on the reports of the pager blast. I can tell you, to my knowledge, there's no U.S. involvement in this at all. Again, it's something that we're monitoring. A key focus for this department and the U.S. government writ large is on working with partners in the region, to include Israel, to prevent the conflict between Israel and Hamas from spiraling into a wider conflict. And that includes the tensions along the Israel-Lebanon border. We've been very clear on several things. One, we support Israel's right to self-defense. We believe that they face a significant number of threats in the region, to include Lebanese Hizbullah, who started rocket attacks on October 8th after Hamas attacked. So we're committed to ensuring that Israel has what it needs to defend itself. We strongly believe that the best way to reduce the tensions along the Israel-Lebanon border is through diplomacy, and that will continue to be our focus. I know, beyond the Department of Defense, the U.S. government has most recently sent delegations to include Ambassador Hochstein over there to discuss ways to resolve these tensions, and so that will continue to be our focus.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we are gathering information on this incident. I can tell you that the U.S. was not involved in it. The U.S. was not aware of this incident in advance, and at this point we're gathering information.
And what information have you gathered so far?
We'll continue to collect information. I don't have any public readout to give now, but we're collecting information in the same way that journalists are across the world to gather the facts about what might have happened.
Obviously, it doesn't take much guesswork who the most likely culprit would be in terms of doing this, in terms of who the enemy of Hezbollah is. Do you have any indications that to doubt that it would be Israel that was behind the...
I don't have any assessment to offer one way or other at this point. So I never want to either comment or speculate about the impact of any one incident, especially in the early stages of an incident, and I'm not going to do so here. That's been our consistent policy to try and avoid doing. I will say that our overall policy remains consistent, which is we do want to see a diplomatic resolution to the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. We want to see one that allows the tens of thousands of Israelis who've been displaced from their homes and the tens of thousands of Lebanese who have been displaced from their homes to be able to return home, and that's what we are continuing to pursue. So again, I don't want to draw any specific conclusions about this incident yet or speculate about what might happen from them. I will say that, of course, since October 7th, we have seen any number of incidents that have led to the heightened risk of escalation. That has been a feature of the conflict across the blue line since October 7th. And so we are always concerned about escalation. We are always concerned about any type of event that may cause further escalation. And it remains our message to both Israel and to other parties that they need to do everything they can to try and reach a diplomatic resolution. That said, we go back to the fundamental, I know people get tired of hearing me say this, we go back to the fundamental issue we face here, which is very, very difficult to get a diplomatic resolution in the north absent a resolution to the conflict in Gaza, absent a ceasefire in Gaza, which is why we continue to push for that ceasefire, because we think it'll help make it much easier to reach a resolution.
So how do you see this incident impact the Gaza ceasefire talks then?
I think it's too early to say. Look, this is an incident that just occurred in the past few hours. We're continuing to gather information about it. I wouldn't want to speculate or make any predictions about what might happen.
סך הכל, אני שמחה שנתנו להם איזה מכה, שהם המומים. אבל אני לא יודעת מה יצא מזה, כי גם להם יש כל מיני אמצעים להכות בנו. אז יש גם איזה, אני לא יודעת אם להגיד פחד, או חוסר ידיעה, או למה להתכונן. אנחנו לא רואים שזה נגמר העסק הזה, זה מאוד עצוב, שלא נותנים לחיות בארץ הזאת.
עד לפני המקרה הזה אני הייתי אופטימי שאנחנו לפני החגים כבר נחזור הבית, כי כבר דיברו וכל מיני השערות וזה, אבל אחרי המתקפה הזאת, שאני אומר שהיא מוצלחת מאוד, כן? אני קצת חושב שזה יימשך כל העסק הזה.
כוכב שנפל. רגע, תעשה שאני לא אזיע ושנהיה יפה. בכנות, אנחנו במתח כבר שנה כמעט, אז כן מחכים לתגובה, אבל המתח הוא כבר, 11 חודשים. אני מתנצלת על חוסר דיוק. אז אנחנו במתח כבר המון זמן. אז כל דבר חדש רק מוסיף למתח.